Derek Green was 5th on the depth chart heading into the last game. He's 2nd on this week's depth chart. What did he show you in the last
He ran the ball pretty well. I thought he, and don't put all that stock into all the depth charts all the time. I mean, there's going to be a lot of guys who are going to handle the football. And, but I thought, and Fred thought, and Al thought, that he did a nice job on the carries he had. He missed a read in there one time that we'd have liked to have a little better. But at the same time, without Fitz, it was good to get him back out on the field. He made some really good cuts. He did a good job in protection. And then we thought Davion Smith did a nice job. And then Rosie had a good run in there. So, there's a lot of guys right now we're counting on.
On my review of the tape, the tight ends didn't block particularly well. Was I wrong? Or
I thought AJ did better. I thought he got better as it went on. I think Funchess, we don't ask him to as much. And the one thing on the stretch play, they really targeted it differently with their linebackers. I mean, they really, depending on the formation shift, really stretched the linebackers. And, you've got different calls at the line of scrimmage. Some are interior, some are exterior. Exterior would be outside, right? All right? Exterior for, the support systems and how you want to handle that. And second time through, we got on pretty good.
You wanted to see how the interior line played together on film. What were your thoughts about that?
For the most part, and not entirely, obviously, but they did a pretty good job, and they're a pretty stout group, especially the two guards, and so for their first time out there with live bullets, I think they did a good job.
Brian Kelly said yesterday, the comments about he felt like this was a good historic college football game, not an historic rivalry for Notre Dame. What do you take on that?
Well, I think you just said it, for Notre Dame.
So it is for,
it is for us, yeah. Everybody looks at everything differently.
Brady, what do you like about Channing Stribling that when you go to your nickel defense, he comes in and Blake moves down to cover the slot receiver? What do you like about that setup?
Yeah, two things. I think number one, when you have a guy who's athletic like Blake that can cover slot receivers, I think that's part of it. The other part of it, Strib and Jordan Lewis both have had pretty good fall camps, and they both, battle and they're competitive. Strib's 6'2", and he's long, and he's got long arms, and he's got a lot of leverage. I would think we think he's a pretty good football player.
You're really concerned with him on that island so young in this group?
You got to get there sometime. John?
You obviously said you think of this as a true rivalry. What are some of the elements that you think of when it's Michigan and Notre Dame that make it a big deal, and the reason that you don't want to see it going away?
Number one, I'll answer the second part first. I think it's great for college football. I mean, game day's been here 6 times for this football game. That's pretty significant if they're coming to this campus or the campus in South Bend. So it must have some sort of national appeal. I think also from the standpoint, coaching a lot of places, and maybe it's just me, but I know one thing, when Michigan Notre Dame was on TV, I was going to be watching it, and I know people out in Corvallis, Oregon, were going to be watching that game for one reason or another.